Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors are Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today. A lot of people have been asking me to react to this story. It has emerged from Wales and it actually involves a member of Harlem Spartans. His name is Kieran Martin and he was arrested on a county lines operation in Swansea. Wales Online reports that a young member of a London criminal gang boasted to police about how much money he was making selling drugs in Swansea and how he would be out of prison in no time and back to business. Kieran Martin taunted police, also known as Snow, about how long it had taken them to catch him. At Swansea Crown Court, they heard that he had spent £115 on petrol in 4 days, and officers found a list of local postcodes in his mobile phone. The conviction of the 20-year-old is the latest example of a phenomena known as county lines, where organised crime gangs from major English cities such as London, Liverpool and Birmingham run drug dealing operations in smaller cities than towns. The prosecution said that on the morning of the 23rd of October this year, police became suspicious of two men in a black Vauxhall Astra, a state car in the city centre. The officers followed the vehicle along Walter Road towards the Uplands area of town, and following intelligence checks, they stopped it. When it was pulled over on Eaton Crescent, the driver was detained, but the passenger, who had no shoes and socks on, they said, ran off. Officers gave chase and the Londoner was found hiding in a garden near Bombville Lane. When police retraced the route the fleeing man had taken, they found a discarded bag containing 173 wraps of cocaine and heroin. The prosecution said that Martin was quite talkative when he was arrested and began telling officers how long he'd been up in Swansea and how much money he made and how easy prison would be. I'm not sure on his condition at the time of arrest. He may have been a bit drunk. I don't know. He had no shoe socks on. He was basically goading the police. Police backup soon arrived on the scene and the Astra was searched. They found a lock knife and 5 mobile phones. A rucksack containing £590 was also recovered. Officers found the 6 receipts for petrol from the previous days, showing that he'd spent £115. One of the recovered phones contained text messages with local postcodes, and the prosecution said the car was being used for a mobile delivery of drugs. Also on the phone was bulk text that he used to send out to people saying shop open all night, give me a call, and I'm about with good stuff. Prosecution said numbers on the phone linked him to the county lines gang known to the police as the John and Claire line. Martin from East Sussex had previously pleaded guilty in being concerned in the supply of heroin and crack cocaine when he appeared in the dock via video link at Swansea Crown Court for sentencing. The court heard he had previous convictions for robbery, possession of offensive weapon, assaulting a police officer, being concerned in the supply of heroin and crack cocaine, possession of heroin and cannabis with intent to supply, and possession of prohibited items in prison, namely a knife. He was subject to 2 suspended sentences for drug offences when he was caught in Swansea before. His defence solicitor said there was an element of bravado about Snow's comments to the police, but there was also a sad reflection of the reality of the defendant's life. He said Martin had a very, very difficult upbringing in the Lambeth area of South London and had become involved in gangs and criminality from a very young age. He said there was concerns about the vulnerability of his family and they had been moved to Kent. He maintained his association with the gang. The defence said sadly many young men in the defendant's situation saw themselves becoming part of county lines as a job and did not really appreciate the harm of their activities and what was happening to the community. The judge said that Mr. Martin wished to apologise for his conduct. The judge said the use of Class A drugs is rising in Swansea and has become detrimental to the community. The judge said to Snow that you have been for a number of years a member of a criminal gang operating out of London. Over the years, you have worked for them and become a valuable member of the team. You and another male were in Swansea running a mobile delivery service. Shamelessly went about that business, feeding the cravings of those individuals to further your own gain financially. They said that he had been in the area for a long time and they said that his business was very good. The judge said it was a sign of the seriousness of the criminal gangs that was employed by Martin and it had been able to supply him with a knife while he'd been in detention in prison, giving the defendant a third off his sentence due to a guilty plea. The judge sentenced him to 4 years for 2 Class A trafficking offences to run concurrently, so he's to serve 4 years and 3 months. He will serve up to 1.5 years in custody before being released on licence for the remainder of his sentence, but they will be increasing his licence due to the fact of how much of a repeat criminal he is. In regard to who Snow is in Harlem Spartans, he isn't a rapper, but he's referenced in songs like Lowski's Hazards.
All the big bros you Snow. Gal says she want a trapper of the year, like shit, I'll probably give it to Snow. Put
which was a massive song for Harlem Spartans back in 2016, where he refers to Snow as potentially the Trapper of the Year. There is also other footage of Snow involved in other things online, but that none of them are music-wise. So maybe he might come out and start a music career, because most drill rappers go to prison and do come out and start rapping, because clearly he was good at what he did, but there was no good consequence that can come from it. I really appreciate you joining me this afternoon. I'll be back again with some more news, and of course I'll be doing some more updates on the death of Biss as well very shortly. Rest in peace, Lats. Rest in peace, Biss.